All right, my first guest, you all know, an Academy Award-winning actor, now starring in a great new film called Cinderella Man. Best movie I've seen so far this year. Comes out June 3rd. Please welcome Russell Crowe, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, buddy.
Well, thank you, Jay.
You know, I haven't seen you in a while. You become a dad.
Yep.
How's that going, all right?
It's going fantastic. My life has changed in many, many wonderful ways.
Yeah, I met Charlie, bright young boy, big boy.
Yeah, just hanging out the back there, having a look around.
He was. Well, tell us a little bit about him. Fill us in.
Well, gee whiz, I mean, he's 17 months old now.
Okay.
So he's starting to gather a few words.
Yeah.
I've noticed recently in the last couple of days that my position in his life has changed a little bit. I was just daddy and a source of love until about 3 days ago when he worked out that I'm actually the most efficient public transport system he's got on offer.
Really?
Yeah, so it's changed. My job's changed. It's not like I don't get all the cuddles now. I pick him, he goes, Dad, Daddy, Daddy. So I pick him up and I put him in his arms, he goes, there. Off we go.
Must have seen Gladiator, possibly, it sounds like, yeah.
Actually, you were mentioning that bloke getting bitten on the nose by a snake just there. It made me think of your mate Steve Irwin, your mate and mine.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He came to Charlie's christening and he bought little Bob. Little Bob was the one he tried to feed to the crocodile that time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bob's going well and progressing really well, but him and Charlie are only about a month difference in age, you know. And we were in the chapel and there's like 80 people and kids running around and stuff, you know. And the bishop starts talking and little Bob Irwin is just all the way through, you know, the ceremony, you know. And Steve, right, keeps putting him on the ground and then going through this, you know, elaborate sort of stalking procedure, you know. And you're thinking, what's going on here? Just pick the kid up, you know. So at one point in time, little Bob's going, rah, 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 rah. Charlie, you know, who's just like focused on the bishop and knows, you know, gets a sense that the day's about him, you know, Charlie goes, ah! And that was the last we heard from little Bob Irwin.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, all through the rest of the day, one by one, of course, my mates took the opportunity to come past me and say, we know who his daddy is, don't we, mate?
Oh, I see. Now, I hear Charlie's a bit of a flirt, because he seems to be big with the girls. Yeah, he seems to got the curly hair and very much.
Yeah, he knows how to work it, you know.
Yeah.
He's not, you know, he'll meet a bloke and hang out with a bloke a little bit, but, you know, it's girls he'll sort of, like, find an immediate fascination for.
Really?
Yeah, he's just
a little young to be starting.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, you need a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to discourage it.
You don't want to discourage it.
Actually, you know, he has 1 day a week, he has a play date thing, you know, with these twin daughters of a friend of mine.
Oh, this sounds like a movie. Yeah.
Thank you, Dad. No problem, mate.
Now, how does he like the ranch? You taking him to the ranch? Does he hang out?
Yeah. He loves the space on the farm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last time we took him up, he was only just getting used to shoes.
Okay.
So it was kind of a fascinating experience because he's got the running and walking thing down, but the shoes add a little bit of a degree of difficulty, which was, you know, a little hard to overcome. But, you know, fascinated by horses, fascinated by muck and dirt and everything, obviously. So there'll be a lot of good times up there in the years to come.
Now, I read an article, I got this out of an Australian newspaper, that somebody gave you, was it an IKEA baby buggy? It's one of these put-together things?
No, I went and bought the brand's called Stocker.
Okay.
It's Norwegian. On the day of the Master and Commander premiere, right, you know, Danny and I had been in Europe, we'd been doing the Master and Commander premiere, the Royal premiere, blah, 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 and then she'd flown home and I'd gone to Germany and Italy and stuff to finish the press for Europe. And on the night of the German opening, the head of Fox Europe decided that we were all going to go to what's called the Reeperbahn, where the strip clubs are.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
But it's also that historical part of Hamburg where the Beatles played, you know, the Star Club.
That's why you go, the strip clubs. You
you go to the Reeperbahn. It's the entertainment. It's just like you go to Sunset Strip, but you don't necessarily go to...
Yeah, there's a church on the strip, but you don't go there. Yeah.
But there's also a House of Blues, brother.
Right, exactly.
Depends on what your religion is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Anyway, so I'd gone along to this party, you know, with the executives, and lo and behold, surprise, surprise, this photograph ends up with me in the paper the next day. You know, here he is, you know, without the wife, hanging out at the strip club, you know. So I was actually deep in conversation with another bloke at the time. Whatever. So that day was a bit full of tension because I knew I'd have to face a red carpet with smirks on their faces going, guess who's been a naughty boy then, you know? So I thought, I need something zen to do here. Yeah. So I went and got out the baby stuff that I bought to put it together. And we just moved into the apartment. I didn't have any tools there. And they give you one of those little Allen keys, you know?
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm putting it together. And I get to the last bit, which is the coasters on, you know, the casters or whatever, the rolling balls on the bottom. And one of the longer screws was missing, you know? So the only tool I had was a penknife. So I countersunk the screw, got the job done, right? All right. Not a problem. Okay. So I tell that story on the red carpet, but that's not good enough, right? Because that's not a good story, is it? Because it came out successfully.
Right,
you know? Okay. So you cut to, you know, newspaper room going, well, okay. So perhaps he didn't solve it. Perhaps he couldn't solve it. Perhaps he called his mates up.
Oh, I see. So this is one of those...
So it grows exponentially.
So you
over
actually
time.
countersunk the screw.
Countersunk the screw, job done.
Or maybe you screwed up so bad that you're embarrassed, so you're just telling me you countersunk the screw.
Get my wife out, because she gets gets really upset with this.
Really? Really?
Yeah. Every time she reads it, she's like, oh, you know. Because she married an Antipodean man that, you know, runs a cattle farm, so, mate, I know the business end of a screwdriver.
And you know how to countersink a screw. See, they don't know what a countersinking a screw is. No, they're all going, Now, so tell me, has your social life changed now that you're married and you're dad?
Yeah, well, you know, the priority list changes immediately, you know, and that's okay because, you know, I went into the whole in marriage and having children thing with you know, a completely open heart, and that was what I wanted to do. Right. So, yeah, everything sort of tends to be based around what Charlie's doing. Well, I'd say I'm slightly less defensive, or in a way, slightly less, you know, caring about bothering to defend myself over whatever, you know. So, but I haven't mellowed in the slightest. No. It's absolutely just, you know, I take the same energy level to work, and in fact, if anything, have a baby is only going to charge me up. Because, you know, there's even more importance, you know, for me, you know, doing special work, so... Yeah,
but less likely to do crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The crazy stuff is just...
Crazy stuff's out. Your motorbike out the front, that's out.
No, you see, you can't...
That is not on my list of
You can't ride my boss horse, you don't want to take that out? No.
You were talking before about, you know, having a little blast, and then you left the room, and I just walk out, my wife goes...
No, you see that? Yeah, see that. All moms hate motorcycles.
It's just a thing, isn't it? And she used to, you know, she used to love being on the back of the bike and stuff.
See that? Oh, they love it until the day you get married.
Exactly.
There's an old joke. I'll tell you in a minute. Be right back. Right after this. More Russell Crowe.
Now on DVD.
My name's Rue, and I want you to meet my new best friend.
Heffalump.
He likes honey, and he even learned how to bounce. Welcome to the family, Lumpy.
Pooh's Heffalump movie, now on Disney DVD.
Introducing a whole new Delissio Microwave. Finally, pizza that rises and bakes up fresh in the microwave. It's not delivery, it's Delissio Microwave.
You have radiant skin. You just haven't discovered it yet.
Aveeno Positively Radiant Cleansing Pads. One side gently exfoliates while the other with our conditioning soy formula cleanses and softens skin.
Discover how radiant your skin can be.
Positively Radiant Cleansing Pads.
Silhouette smoothie from Danone. A total fruit explosion and just 80 calories. Get online and in line with your Silhouette. Visit silhouetteandme.ca.
Further proof that nothing refreshes like Nestea.
My single most important accessory, Garnier Nutrice Nourishing Color Cream. Only Nutrice nourishes with grapeseed and avocado oils. And grays, not in here. Garnier Nutrice. Nourished hair, better color. Garnier.
Welcome back. Talking with Russell Crowe. The movie is Cinderella Man. Boy, I love this movie. This is just a great, great film. And, of course, it's a true story. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's the story of James J. Braddock, who became heavyweight champion in 1935. But the unique thing about his story is that basically from about 1929, he was on a massive losing streak as a boxer. And that coincided with the stock market's crash in the beginning of the Great Depression. So he was a guy that went from being quite a successful boxer with a good reputation to be, and some money invested in the stock market and also in a cab company. But of course, after the Depression hit, nobody was taking cabs. So his change of fortune over a period of 4 years is gigantic. So where he was in 29 to where he was in 33 was a huge difference. And, you know, I read the script first in 1997. And Penny Marshall was going to direct it, which is kind of this odd irony thing, because it started off with Laverne and ended up with Richie. It's the Ron Howard thing.
Wow. That's right. I never thought of that.
She didn't see me in the role. And in '98, I got the opportunity, because we kept tracking the project Universal put into turnaround. I got the opportunity to convince Harvey Weinstein to buy it. Then after he bought it, he then went and set about trying to get a bigger name to do the movie. So I kind of had to sit in my hands, and we went through Billy Bob Thornton, Mark Wahlberg, I think, was attached to it at one stage, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, you know. And finally, in 2001, Harvey called me again. And it may or may not have something to do with the Academy Awards. You know, it's probably coincidental.
You know, that can help.
And,
any of those little prizes help.
So we finally got it back on track, and I'd worked with Ron at that stage, and so we started talking about it. But oddly enough, I'd also talked about this project with Renee Zellweger in '98 in an outdoor cafe in San Diego. I just finished doing The Insider. I was 254 pounds and bald, you know, and we sat there and talked about it, and I'm saying to her, you know, I want to play this boxer, you know, and she was probably going, righto. But the thing is, you know, when she got the script and she read it, she got the same vibe out of it that I did, that this is a truly wonderful story, you know, and it's a real story, you know, and this change of fortune actually
Well, you know,
happened.
I like it because my dad was a fighter. My dad was a good guy, and this is a story about, because so many fighters are criminals, and this, you know, and he's a truly decent man, and he's fighting for something.
So many boxing bios end up with the guy in the gutter, or being a restaurant greeter in Vegas, and, you know, or losing his money through criminal means, or, you know, dying strangely in a private plane crash with $10,000 in cash in a brown paper bag, you know, in his pocket, you know, that sort of weird stuff. And everything I read about Braddock before he was a champion, when he was a champion, and after he was a champion, I really liked, you know, and that's not necessarily a prerequisite for me to make a film. But with this guy, you know, he died in 1974, still desperately in love with his wife. He'd seen his 3 kids grow up, he'd seen his grandchildren born, and he was still living in the house that he bought from the winnings from the 1935 championship.
Story.
It's a great story, a great
now,
American
Angelo
story.
Dundee, Muhammad Ali's trainer, he worked with you on this, didn't he?
Yeah, I got the benefit and joy of working with Angelo.
But he took it pretty serious.
He takes it pretty seriously, you know, and that's the thing, you know, you don't want to do it any other way, you know, so our, you know, training routine was pretty full on, you know. We'd start in the morning with road work, and then, you know, do some sort of yoga, some stuff like that, you know, then do 40 laps in the pool, go for a bit of a walk, then we'd do 2 separate boxing sessions in the gym, you know, eat by 6 o'clock and then go for another walk. I mean,
Tell me about your nose when he...
Right, well, there's a sort of a longer thing to the story. One of the fights in the film is actually a real fight. We decided that the 3 days of choreography required to polish the choreography in the 3 days of shooting, that the shoulder wasn't actually going to be able to make it through that one. I had a shoulder operation at the beginning of the film, so it was very touch and go all the way through. We just had to keep eking, you know, out the juice that we had in the shoulder. And this one particular fight, we decided we haven't got the time, you know, and the juice in the shoulder, let's just do a fight, you know. And the guy was Mark Simmons, who was a former gold medalist for Canada in the Olympic Games. Very fast, very big heavyweight, you know, cool. But Angelo has this thing where he can actually, you know, just put the information in your head. So he's trained me to do the job. I don't need to see everything because he can see it, you know. And so I'd come back into the corner, and that day we probably did 40 plus 2-minute rounds. So it was a heavy day shooting, you know. But the part of the narrative that we needed to keep was the fact that, you know, I get injured in the ribs in that fight, you know. And so every time we'd start, you know, he'd be bashing me in the ribs, you know, and I'd be letting him hit me in the ribs. So I'd go back into the corner, and Angelo would go, "Kid, everything's going good, right? But stop him hitting in the ribs. It's gonna be bad for you later on in the fight. Okay, and do this, do that, step to the outside, you know, watch the thing, go on right, bang, bang, 2 on right, then come up on the inside, you'll stripe him every time. Okay, go, kid, go, you know." Go out there, I'd stand there, I'd let him hit me in the ribs, you know, go back in, 2 minutes, you know, and Angelo would be like, "Kid, Don't let him hit you in the ribs. Okay, cool. Now this is stop going to the right. Now go to the left. Now go to the left. Use that left. Use that left. Go on the inside. Bang. Pop him up. Pop him up. Break his jaw. Look, if he does the thing with the ribs, drop your elbows on his hands and break him. Okay, kid?
Oh, that's in the film, yeah.
It's in the film. We stole it, right?
Yeah.
So then I go out, you know, start again. Bang, bang, bang. You know, something 2-minute round. I come back in, and you go, kid, are you stupid? Don't let him hit you in the ribs. And later on that same fight, I've got this nosebleed going on, you know. And, you know, we put the blood up the nose so it doesn't run out. Then, you know, you go in your action, bang, 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 you take a bit of a shot, and you can get the blood to come out, right. You know, tricky-dicky, right? So I go back into the corner after doing that, you know, and Angelo sees it, and he's been a cut man for, what, 50-plus years, yeah. Right? Bang, with a pinch of fingers to cauterize the wound. Right?
Up, you know.
All right, I've got 4 corner guys. I've got one like holding my hand, wiping down. I can't get him off my pants. You actually see one really panicked look in the film. I'm looking up going, mate, you're taking my nose off.
Well, let's show people this. Here's a scene from film where your manager tells you you can fight again. Take a look. Cinderella Man.
I got you a fight.
Ha ha, go to hell.
Oh, come on, you want it, don't you?
Oh, well, we're going to bring this up with the boxing commission or not?
Yes, and they'll sanction it. This one fight and one fight only. Not a comeback, right? It's one fight.
Why?
Because of who you're fighting.
How much?
Just once ask me who it is you're fighting.
How much?
$250. You're at the big show at the Garden tomorrow night. You fight Corn Griffin, Jimmy. #2 heavyweight contender in the world. Prelim before the championship bout.
You know, Joe, this ain't funny.
No, it's not, and it ain't no favor either. Griffin's opponent got cut and he couldn't fight, so we had to find somebody that could throw in at a day's notice. Nobody legit would... Nobody would take a fight with Griffin without training. So I told them, use the angle Griffin's gonna knock out a guy never been knocked out. You meet, Jimmy.
You on the level, Joe?
Come on, always.
For $250, I would fight your wife.
Now you're dreaming.
And your grandmother at the same time.
Teeth in or teeth out?
Take them out.
Then you're dead. You're down, you're gone. No chance.
$250.
250 bananas.
Still.
Come here.
Great job. Can you stick around for the animals?
Absolutely.
All right. Russell Crowe, be right back with